We will definitely not shut up and dribble.
The champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man
MH.
Yes, he's a DB of the show, and we are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. We are in the locker room again, giving you today's top topics. And MH, ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Summer League, man, the real Summer League. There's other, cities that's hosting Summer Leagues. Well, not as many as before, but, they come to the Las Vegas event sports capital of the world where all 30 teams kind of come down and, show their stuff. And I just know that we're happy, very, very happy to see that it's back as a lot of sports. So I'm going to start off. MH, man, did you have a chance to get down there and check it out yet? Or are you planning on getting down there sometime?
Yeah, I haven't been able to. I think with the delay of Summer League further in the summertime frame, it's just been kind of hard to get there right now. It's an interesting time. So
right. Well, I mean,
I will.
There you go. I mean, we're there a couple of days, 8th through I want to say the 14th, 15th, something like that. I know we posted on our social media the day. So if you're not doing anything, you can catch a quick flight, come down to Summer League, man, and support the city. We love visitors coming in. But no, you mentioned a great point about it being pushed back, right? So this is not the normal time that we usually see Summer League.
It's not. Summer League usually happens a little earlier in the summer, about a month previous. There's a little separation from other things that typically are going on in August, like NFL training camp. And Summer League kind of has its own unique platform. Yep. Well, I guess not its own. I mean, baseball's still there, but to a degree, there's a section of Summer League that is really a nice landing spot for it. So this year is a little pushed back. The week is not like 14 days of Summer League; it's more like 10 days is going to be all done.
They're getting it in.
And yeah, but I mean, it's good to at least be back. I know we kind of missed it. We missed it obviously with a lot of things in 2020.
Right.
So it's good. It's just good to have it back and be able to celebrate these youngins and see who's who and see who's the next kind of stars in the NBA.
Yeah, man. But before we get into the stars, man, I definitely want to touch on that. It's with it being late, it's interesting, right? Because we always talk about this dynamic of, the top four. You mentioned baseball, and but the top two is always basketball and the Shield going back and forth, and they're always wanting the narrative to stay relevant when they're out of season. So the summertime is really a time for them, and usually in Summer League, it's happening earlier in July, right when free agency kicks off. So that's when you start seeing some of those moves. And it's so funny. I remember, was it 3 years? And I can't remember the player, but all I remember, it was like the first or second day of Summer League. And this like historic, like ridiculous trade was made. And this guy was about to play on the court. And they were like, oh no, like they made this trade. He was catching the cab back to the airport because he was getting ready to do interviews and, get ready with his new team. Yeah. So with that relevancy, you don't see those kind of moves, but a lot of business is kind of happening here.
For sure. I mean, similar to, I think, when LeBron signed with the Lakers and, at Summer League, he kind of came from whatever backstage he came from with the little Lakers shorts and everybody
went, yeah,
was hyped about that. So, that's an element of it. That's different. I also remember randomly Amari Spellman. So Amari Spellman was drafted by the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
I think he played college basketball at Villanova. So he was playing with the Hawks, and I believe I can't remember what the trade was, but he got traded to the Golden State Warriors. Mm-hmm. So oddly enough, he played in Summer League with the Hawks one day, and I saw him play with the Hawks, one day because it's a nice, intimate, arena. You can go back and forth to the, both gyms.
Both gyms, yeah.
It's a real intimate setting. So I clearly saw him play. Probably sat next to the dude in the stands, watch another game. He gets traded. I actually have a flight to Oakland. I see him on the flight, like, bruh, welcome to I guess it's professional sports. And he's like, Yeah.
Welcome to the Yay
Yeah,
area.
but he was he was going there to get his physical, to sign his contract with the Warriors, and then he was going to fly back to Summer League to play for the Warriors Summer League team. So to your point, a lot of business, a lot of transactions kind of happen because it's kind of like, a time where the whole NBA kind of gets together, during the free agency time frame, which is kind of also another special part of Summer League.
No, because it's very interesting. Like you said, you sit next to, you could be walking and like there's a NBA legend or NBA, player who's now a coach or someone who's in the front office. This is like right there, and they attempt, because it is, especially when you get into the Cox Pavilion, which is where the UNLV women play their games.
Right.
And so, like you said, even a smaller gym, and they have this like caution tape duct taped off little section, but it's like all the way at the end. And some of these guys, they don't care, man. It's like, look, I'm just gonna walk right here, sit down, and you sit down and you eating popcorn, and there's a legend right next to you.
Yeah, no, I think that's one of the coolest things about Summer League. I remember before I even moved to Las Vegas, I had wanted to come out to Summer League. I came out to Summer League, I think maybe the year LiAngelo Ball was drafted, and it was a little exploded, whatever. But the fan in me was like, hold on, I'm sitting next to like Chauncey Billups, in the Cox Pavilion, or Dominique Wilkins just walked by or whatever the case is, and he just chilling kind of, and that was a super unique experience the first time I experienced it. And I was like, well, this is gonna be my summer dues trip every year. Like, I'm gonna come to Summer League and just kick it. So yeah, to your point, it's a unique experience.
So let's talk about, there's a couple of ways we could go with that one. So, let's talk about the fandom. I think it's funny, right? Because we work in sports, so there's a different level of and we played the game, right, at various levels. So there's a different kind of I respect this game, but
yeah, you just taller. You just a little taller than me, bro.
Just a little taller than me, right? Like the ball bounced the right way for you in a certain situation or two.
Sure.
But it's funny just to see the different levels of the fandom, right? Like, I know this guy. It's funny. I did actually get to make it to the first day, and I saw this guy. He's a really big memorabilia person. So he goes to these things, and he's like going there to get things signed. And
he's working.
He is working. And not like, oh, I hope to get one. He's like, okay, these are who got drafted. I need this. I need a ball, a jersey, a towel, and he has a list of what he's going to do. And it's efficient and functioning. To the kid, right? They're just like, hey, I see tall basketball player. Like, I walk by a kid, and the kid looks at me. I'm like, nah, man, you don't want me to fuck up your tennis shoes or something, man. You don't want my autograph on that shit, man. Mess your whole situation up. But and you see that, and it's just kind of interesting to see the dynamics, right? Because some people will sign this stuff and some people don't. And then now with the COVID situation, right, they're keeping the people away from them, because there was some guy sitting courtside and the kid came up and the damn security guard almost stiff-armed a little kid that had the basketball. So
get back, put your mask on, bro.
Correct. But no, everybody did have their mask on. That was one thing that they were definitely enforcing real tough in the gym. Our governor came by and made a special appearance. I heard that he came on the court and attempted to, because I don't know if you saw him on the news, he was knocking the World Cup game, talking about everybody came in the stadium with their mask on, but video and everything afterwards, after the soccer game got going, he didn't see any masks. So very, very interesting dynamic, the whole thing going around. And also, you see these guys and you want to take that picture with them. So it's like, okay, do I leave my mask on or do I take my mask off for my one chance to take a picture with my favorite NBA, legend or superstar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real funny how everybody reacts to, I guess, in their own fandom ways differently. To your point, I'm a fan of a lot of players, right?
100%.
But I guess I'm a supporter of a lot of players. I think working in sports now, I realize I was probably never a fan because, I don't really care to, get my calf signed by another human being, whether he's good at basketball or football or not.
Facts.
And some people are cherish that moment, and they go different ways. But to your point, Las Vegas doesn't have an NBA team, and there's not a. I mean, I guess you could be a fan anywhere, really, of any team, and this is kind of a unique experience where you get to see everybody kind of up and close.
Mm-hmm.
So you see different reactions from both males and our lady counterparts that are trying to get the attention of stars in many different ways. I guess I can put it that way. It is good. It's great. It's great theater. I would put it.
They are a part of the theater as well.
It is great theater.
Listen, and shout out to the ladies that love basketball and can talk sports with the best of them. Shout out to our girls, Mel and Mo, that knows the game.
Yeah.
But there are some females that are not quite there for the play on the court.
Yeah.
And they come out stunting something serious. So
especially in the Cox Pavilion, where you could basically walk on the sideline. So
you can help draw plays and shit. Like, hey, coach, no, we need to just open the lane up for here, right?
Hold on, baby girl. There's a couple seats right here. You don't got to go all the way to the other end of the the facility.
Right here.
We all see you. It's all good.
4 and 5. So no, that's, like I said, that's an overall. It's a great experience, and I think because of the proximity of the two gyms, so these players and coaches and celebrities and talent have to go back and forth. There's not too many, tunnels and accesses that you can do because it's an older kind of building that was built that's didn't think about the celebrity in mind of holding this type of event. So
sure.
It's definitely a great experience. You also brought up, let's talk about some of the stars, right?
Yeah.
Or the people, the people people want to see. How about that? All right, since I was tongue tied on that. Of course, it's the first and second pick. They had a matchup tonight. Yeah, or when we're recording this. And there's like Jaylen Green has a lot of chip on his shoulders about not going first, and he's actually put comments out that he's coming after him, and people that have to pay on his list. So Jaylen Green is definitely one of them. But just the top couple of people, and then they're also talking about the narrative of him not going to college, and he's like the prototype of going to the G League, and is it a success or not? So those are like a couple of narratives with some of the players, man. Is there any player that you think got hype or that's worth talking about?
Yeah, I mean, to kind of piggyback off you with Jaylen Green and Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham going number 1 to the Pistons, and Jaylen Green going number 2, and even Evan Mobley that got drafted number 3 to the Cavs. I think they all kind of match up, and that's the real cool thing about Summer League. You can kind of see them get drafted early, and then you can kind of see them compete against each other pretty the next 1 or 2 weeks after they're drafted. So that's a unique kind of experience in pro sports. But it's different nowadays because I feel like this draft class, while the NBA pundits and the analysts says, this is one of the deeper classes in a while, there could have been multiple number 1 picks. There's not that, I guess for the casual, there's not that Zion Williamson or that superstar in this draft. And so I guess it makes it a little different, and you don't really know who guys are. So going back to the point of the G League, you don't really see G League games.
Yeah,
they're not on Super Tuesday, and they're not really Big East basketball, so you don't really see them. And Cade Cunningham went to Oklahoma State, but it's not Duke or North Carolina.
You really didn't see his shine until it was the finals. And, kind of rocky going through some of that as well. Yeah,
and then Evan Mobley, he went to USC, so it's not traditionally like a basketball powerhouse. So, while I think everybody has, why it's cool to have different paths to the NBA, sometimes I think, does that affect, the draft stock ultimately? And Jaylen Green went number 2, so I guess 2 to 1 is almost, I guess, the same thing. But had he went to
tell
Duke,
him that. Don't tell him that.
Yeah, but maybe if he went to Duke, maybe he's number one and not number two because we've just seen him and the hype around him is a little different than what it is.
Well, I told you off the jump, man, and hope you hold your point too. You mentioned this in an earlier episode. I wish I remember the episode where I was just kind of like, anytime I can bash the NCAA, I well, not bash NCAA, just the fact that people.
No, you said it right the first time. It's all good.
So people could make their money.
Yeah.
Made me my money. You were right, man. Like if they went to a Duke, or Kentucky or like a powerhouse like school, would he have been one instead of going to the G League? So it's a great narrative, man. And I think what we talked about is you didn't get a chance to learn these kids or these young talents because there's no narrative for what the G League is, right? So how are you telling their story if you're not telling them how we tell the narrative during, Final Four and March Madness and, watching the teams chase titles? So
yeah, there's probably a 15-year-old that may hear this that is going to probably be offended for me saying this, but like, yeah, I've heard of Jaylen Green, and we mentioned off camera, like we knew who he was, but we didn't really know who he was at the same time, right? And so he just kind of just pops up, and unless you're like that, Instagram or social like powerhouse like the Ball family or Zion Williamson, you kind of get lost in the shuffle to the casuals, and everybody's so young, man. Everybody's, these Jaylen Green went to prom probably 10 months ago. You know what I mean?
so, right.
If he went, you know what I'm saying? So like it's an interesting different world now. But backing up to one of your original questions about who you really like to see. Jalen Suggs is the guy that I'm interested to see. So whenever I get there, I am going to see him. Okay. He plays for the Orlando Magic. I think he was I can't remember when the top 5 pick, number 4 or 5. I think number 5. Shout out to
Peanut, who was on our show that works for Orlando Magic.
Yeah. I like him because he was an all-state quarterback in Minnesota. I think he could have played quarterback in college. Had a lot of Big Ten offers, but he plays basketball like
I know it's that high. Okay.
Yeah, he plays basketball like a football player, and obviously he made some one shining moments in March Madness with Gonzaga. He had a game winner in the Final Four, so we know who he is. Obviously,
he jumped on the table and let everybody know after he hit that shot.
Right? Yeah,
but it's like you said, it's those moments that like you remember because not only even if you didn't watch the full game or any of the game, you saw that on SportsCenter, you saw that on like people's Twitter feed and however else you get your news and information. So it's a great point, man.
Yeah, Luther was singing about it. So
I'm not going to sing Luther. So you mentioned a few times the Ball family. So maybe not a rising star, but definitely a star of Summer League. From the time that I went the first day, I'm forgetting who they played, but it was in the Cox gym, which the thing I do love about the Cox Pavilion is that since it's so small, like when you're in there and it's packed, it gives you like a really kind of game atmosphere. So when people are talking trash and, the court, you can hear people talking on the court versus Thomas and Mack, which they usually put like what they think is the bigger matchup.
Bigger matchup. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in there and the crowd loves Jello. I'm just going to put it out there. The crowd loves Jello. And in the house was his younger brother and his father was the only ones that I saw that was present. But I mean, when he went to check in, the crowd went crazy. They were chanting for him to come in right off the jump. And then he makes his first 3-pointer and they lose it. They lose it. And he ended up, I think, ending the game with like 19, 20, 22, something like that. So that's just going to put fuel to the fire. So do you think he's going to or should make a team?
No.
Straight up. He said no.
I mean, I think it's amazing what that family has done.
Hey, shout out to him, man. I love every bit of it. I saw Pops and I just told him, I was like, man, hey, congratulations for what you've done, man. Like, unbelievable.
I think it's great that, we all know who they are.
All of them.
All of them, right? And they're
almost like this shot too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
he did say LaMelo was going to be rookie of the year.
He did. I mean, he also said a lot of stuff. So a dead clock is right twice a day. So
2 times.
Yeah, you get some things right. But no, I don't think LiAngelo is a NBA player. But shout out to him to keep pushing towards his dream. I'll put it that way.
A real friend of the show that we didn't, would you have been disrespected or upset if J. Cole would have found a roster spot on one of these?
No, you know what? Honestly, no, because Michael Beasley, Emmanuel Mudiay, Kenneth Faried were still playing in the summer league. Like, bro, y'all my age. Ain't this for the young cats? So if J. Cole, 80-year-old body, want to go in there and shoot jumpers, man, go ahead. That's fine. That'd be cool. But he's not making the NBA roster.
No.
Nah.
It's a wrap for that.
Yeah, neither is LiAngelo. But it's a good story.
It is a good story, man. And people get excited in this internet age, right? They definitely have that kind of that market corner.
Yeah.
It is called the MGM Resorts Summer League. So, you would think the majority of players are staying at that hotel. And I think that's an extension of the fan experience. So even if you're not making it to the game and you're in town during this time, you definitely see a lot of 6 and 7 footers just walking around, or
eating gummy bears somewhere.
Eating gummy bears and eating chicken wings fried hard somewhere in the lobby. Yeah. But no, they're everywhere. And with all the hotels, like every hotel kind of gets their shine, right? So you'll see. I was at Aria last night. Had a friend in town and just went to Aria, caught something to eat.
Javier's.
No. Javier's was ridiculously packed. There was a line wrapped around Javier's. Like, the food is good. I'm a tequila guy, of course, so the margaritas are phenomenal there. But there should not be a line wrapped around Javier's to eat, man. And then
that's
Catch
a summer league spot.
And Catch was the same way.
I don't know Catch.
What do you know about Catch?
No disrespect. I don't want to take pictures. I just want to eat. I feel like you got to take pictures at Catch.
But it's dark as hell in there, so you got walking
you gotta
in
take,
and walking out.
Yeah, you gotta take by that influencer wall. Yeah.
Right. Like you don't want your butterfly wings on you just doing like the peace sign, or that's the biggest headache I have is because like people be blocking and do I walk through the pictures or do I stand there for you to take your 8, 7, 16 shots or your different poses? And
no reservations. Just taking pictures and leaving. Come on, man. Watch out.
So Aria is definitely one of those spots because I think I even tweeted out. I was like, man, I feel like I'm in an NBA Players Association meeting. All of these dudes walking in, and of course that other element kind of started creeping in a little later as well. So that's when I was like, yeah, it's time to go home.
Yeah, about 10 o'clock.
10:30. They start making their way in there. One of the other things I think that's not a kept secret, but people don't know because the NBA is a focal point of Summer League. But there is a lot of international camps and combines and things going on. So you do get, some of those. Like I know there was a guy that was, is it TB? I don't even pretend like I know the league. But it was just, some of those other scouts after they finish. I think they do some stuff at Doolittle. They may do stuff at Impact Gym and things like that. Tarkanian. So they have different runs for like the Euro League, all the different internationals have spots where they're looking for people too and talent too. So that sometimes doesn't get the shine as well.
Yeah, it's a unique platform. It's like a to your point, like a basketball, whatever you want to convention or conference. I remember I was telling my little brother who coaches at the Citadel, he's been on the show before, that, hey man, sometime in your career, you just need to come, talk to the assistant coach for the Pacers or talk to the GM for the New York Knicks or
they're all here.
Talk to his, a scout that's scouting some players from, he's got something in Greece. Like it's a lot of people that are here. And then you even get like some of the top kind of, AAU circuits that are happening right around the same time here. So there's, the next wave of athletes, and it's all going on in this 10 days of Summer League. So it's a unique experience. It's just a good time to just shake hands and, to your point, get deals done, or as we know, a lot of business is done just over, breaking bread or whatever. So yeah, it's a great experience.
And one of the things I think adding to the overall experience, and I didn't see it as much, and I think we maybe even touched on it just because of the timing, right? There's a lot of things that was going on as far as being pushed back, NFL season starting. So just your different, because it is a celebrity driven things where, you would see some NFL players, coming out for their last kind of hurrah in Vegas before they have to report to training camp. So they're like, oh, I'm here in town. My buddy, I went to school with or whatever plays here. So you didn't see as much as the celebrity kind of factor there. Because you'll usually have like a Floyd Money Mayweather kind of come in and walk in, check out some games. And it may be to the stature of players that are there. But I know
that part.
Right? I think that's one of the biggest parts. But one of the things that was cool was talking about the Olympics is Adebayo came in on the first day. And he looks like, he just fresh touchdown. And he's walking around with his Olympic gold medal. So that was really dope to see. And, of course, it was a slight flex. He wasn't wearing it. He was like holding it in his hand, like you remember you had the little keychain that you wear around your neck.
I hope he wasn't twirling it like that. Come on, man.
So they had so you saw the photogs like take pictures of him, and he had a little look like, I'll just say Eddie Bauer or like maybe a Tommy Hilfiger. Oh, who was it? Polo that did the clothing, the uniforms this year.
Yeah, that USA.
The USA sweater. So he had that on, and he's just holding he did not at one point have on the medal. He just had it in his hand. like he just snatched somebody's chain, like he's Debo and some shit.
Yeah, like he got out the Uber and was like, "Oh, my fault. I gotta get this gold medal. I left it in the back seat."
let me just grab that right here.
Yeah.
So I thought that was just funny. And then so he was sitting on the baseline, and they moved him over to the team, and he had the same kind of thing, just holding his. What's our young lady from the WNBA for the Aces? Why am I forgetting her name? She's on the 3-on-3 team.
Kelsey Plum.
Kelsey Plum. She was in attendance, so saw her. She got some hand claps, and that was the other thing. Like they didn't announce them. Usually they kind of announce the people and get a hand clap. And I mean, they came back from gold, and you saw them. Like, why didn't you announce them and give them a hand clap? But some of the people in the crowd started to do it.
Right.
He said, they didn't deserve.
They deserve. 2 hand claps, but
the golf clap.
Yeah, the viewership was down 40%, so maybe people just didn't know either. So the Olympics view was down 40%. That's another part of Summer League, but I'm gonna let you get to it that I actually like about Summer League.
What's
that? Whatever the TV deal is, you can literally watch every game, whether you're actually there in attendance or not. It's ESPN, ESPN2, NBA TV. You're going to get every game that's played. You're going to actually see them. Something that the Olympics couldn't figure it out because.
And like, what time was the games? Like,
what time was the game? What network?
What's going on? Like, who's covering Olympic synchronized swimming?
Tape delay. It's 2021. Why is there something on tape delay? This is crazy.
Yeah, that was all. No, viewership was really bad, and it's kind of funny. Colin Cowherd, I think, was even talking about like. The question is, did you watch the Olympics? Like,
it's a legit question.
I may have caught some stuff. Like, it just happened to be like I'm flipping the channel. I'm like, oh, okay, this is something I will watch. Like, I'm not watching, skateboarding, or something I don't know about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, let's watch Simone win this bronze medal, but this really happened 12 hours ago. And
right, because I already knew she.
I learned about it on Twitter, and everybody on Reddit had an opinion about it too. Right, so
like she overcame twisties, like
yeah,
but I know she's gonna win it, so I'm just watching just for GP.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to get off track. But good job, Summer League. Y'all got every game is televised.
Absolutely, happy to have you back, man. It's going to be interesting though, right? Like, so how is everything going to move, right? Like, where's basketball season going to start, right? And the Olympics was like that little extra thing that was tossed in and threw everything off. But it's going to be interesting to see how everything comes back if they're going to attempt to push things back to normal time.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I see these memes. That is like me looking back, still reminiscing that about 2020 and 2022 is like right here.
Right.
I feel like it's just been like one long 20-month year of 21. It's crazy. It's already almost September in 2021.
Damn.
And we still talking about things in 2020 and how it affects 2022. It's just what an interesting time. We are blessed. I'm gonna say this to everybody listening. We are truly, truly, truly blessed generation, and I firmly believe that.
Okay.
We saw a lot of us saw the new millennium, right? So literally,
Y2K, homie.
like a lot of us really saw that, right? And then
Right.
as we get into 2020 and 2021, and we see like a world pandemic, a global pandemic, like that's a lot of history stuff that our kids are going to be reading about that we're just living through right now. Sometimes I think we gotta, while we're kind of in the weeds, we gotta kind of overlook like, yeah, we're kind of really of a blessed generation to really experience all this.
It's been a lot.
Man. It's crazy. It's been a whole lot.
A whole damn lot.
It's a blessing in disguise, but it's definitely a blessing when you look at it, man.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Football season's coming around, so I can't wait. We'll definitely have a lot of football topics because, of course, that's the Shield. We definitely love the Shield.
Man, shoot, and Tom Brady has won since Y2K till now, till the pandemic. He's won Super Bowls the whole time. So we're blessed to witness that too.
So, really quick before we wrap it up, man, you want a hand clap? You happy? I do want to get your topics about your boy Melo, man. So do you want to go ahead and announce to all of your Knicks fans that you're now a Laker fan? And
only on Tuesdays. Only on Tuesdays.
All right, man. Any final thoughts, man, before we get out of here?
Nah, Melo, go get your ring, man. It's good to be talking sports. Summer League's about to wrap up, and then right after Summer League, we got preseason games. After NFL preseason games, the regular season start. We got a 17 game. I think baseball ends somewhere in between there, I guess.
Right.
The World Series will pop up out of nowhere.
Around October-ish, September, yeah. October, right?
So let's wear your mask so we can get past this United variant and Southwest variant and Delta and all and all this variant, and so we can keep playing.
We got the Greek sorority variances, right? Like Tri Lambda and Delta Sigma Theta variant. Like,
all these variants. The whole Greek alphabet.
Absolutely, man. So stay positive, man. We want to thank you guys all for listening out there. Definitely, if you have not, please figure out how you can get down to Summer League, man. You don't need to do the whole 14 days, 10 days, however long it is, but spend a weekend down here, come to the city, and it's a great experience. And I mean, even the format that we didn't get to talk about, the fact that they actually make it a competition where these guys walk away with money and someone that wins the title. So year after year, some of those standout awards. So please continue to follow and support us. And as we always say, man, stay safe, practice gratitude, and remember, we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo. Shoot me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Shoot me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap and back.